Hey, welcome back to Let's Eat with Russ. Today I'm going to show you how I make bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers. First of all, I try to buy jalapenos that are kind of more straight, and I try to get larger ones versus little tiny ones when I'm picking them out at the store. The way that I slice them, I try to get the knife just next to the stem and then just go straight down to split them in half. Close enough. It's kind of important to keep the two halves with one another, because different jalapenos, the halves won't match up with each other, so you kind of want to keep them together as best as you can. Makes it a lot easier when you're trying to fill them and wrap them. Once you got them sliced, I just take a regular old spoon and just kind of scrape out the filling. Obviously, to make room for the cheese. So yeah, I just try to keep them together once I scrape them out. Makes it a lot easier on the other end. So I'm going to prep all of these, and I'll revisit after I'm done with that. Alright, so now we're ready to make the filling for these. I use half of one of these little blocks of cream cheese, so that would be 4 ounces out of the 8-ounce package. It's a good idea to take it out of the fridge and let it sit on the counter for a half hour or so before you get started, so it's softer and easier to work with. I also use about a half a cup of just ground cheddar cheese. I like to pack it in a little bit so I get a little bit more of the cheddar in there. And then my sort of secret ingredient, not so secret, is I like to use the ranch dressing, powder, seasoning, whatever. About a half ounce is good for this volume. By the way, I'm using 12 decent sized jalapenos, which matches up with the 12 slices of bacon, which is usually in a pound of bacon. So I'm going to dump that in there as well. And just, I wish the cream cheese was a little bit softer, but we'll make it work here. And just kind of mix this all together. The ranch kind of, cools off the heat of the jalapenos a little bit, but they won't be super hot because the ribs and the seeds have already been removed. And once you cook it, it cooks out a lot of the capsaicin, so it's not insanely hot or anything for most people. So once I have that all mixed up, basically it's time to start filling the jalapenos. So I'll take one, which again, the two halves are still married to each other. Actually, to be honest, as long as your hands are clean, sometimes it's easier to just do this by hand. So just pack it in on one half. You really only need to fill one half of each jalapeno because the cheese is going to swell when it's cooking. And so if I have extra, I might add a little bit more to a few of them, but for the most part, you really only need to fill one half, because the other half, like I said, it's going to get filled because the cheese is going to swell up while it's cooking. So I'm going to go ahead and stuff all of these guys, and I'll come back in a moment for the bacon wrapping process. Okay, so I got all these guys filled. Now I'm ready to wrap them in the bacon. So again, it's important to keep your halves of each jalapeno with the other one so that you can match them up. Otherwise they don't fit well and they want to leak on you. So I use one whole strip of bacon per jalapeno, kind of start at the top, then just kind of wrap diagonally. And you can use toothpicks to hold it, but I prefer not to. If you get the wrap right, it'll usually kind of mostly stick and stay put when you're cooking them. So you just want to wrap all these guys with a slice of bacon. I cook in more than one location for these videos, so this is my smaller location. It's not a full kitchen, so I'm just going to do these in a little countertop oven, or I guess you could almost kind of call it a toaster oven, but it's a little bit more than that, but it'll do the job. So anyway, I'm going to get these all wrapped up and show you the cooking process in a moment. All right, we got them all wrapped up. We're ready to go. I like to put them on the grill above the cookie sheet so it'll kind of let them get air from all sides and the grease will drip out versus them soaking in the grease. You can also do these on the barbecue, but at this location I don't have access to a grill, so I'm going to just do them in the oven. I'm going to bake them at about 400, and we'll see how long it takes. I haven't done these in a little while, but probably, I don't know, half hour or so, I'm guessing. Ideally, you want to kind of turn them halfway through so that the bacon gets more cooked on all sides. So anyway, I'm going to pop them in the oven, and we'll see how they come out when I'm done. All right, so I just pulled these guys out of the oven. They look like they're pretty much done. Took a little bit longer than I thought, about 40-45 minutes. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, if you had a real oven, like I said, I'm using a countertop oven in this location. So a real oven, you might be able to still pull it off in 30. You might even use the broiler. And like I said, you can put these into one of those like basket grills with the two pieces that come together and whatever. And you can do these on the grill and just flip the whole basket and cook them that way, which I prefer, but again, at this location, I don't have an access to a grill, so I just did them in the oven. Looks like they came out great. So anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.